We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree?
Yes.
It is really co-creation at its best. You, physically focused, living the details of your life, coming to new decisions every day about what would be even better, not just for you, but for everything that you hold as your object of attention. You can't help but add to the well-being of all that is just by your deciphering and sifting and sorting and living of life. You are doing as you knew you would do. You are exploring contrast, and whether you speak it or not, you are coming to new decisions constantly about what an improved life would be. Sometimes you think that it is by offering your words that you create. But it is not your words. It is your vibrational offering. And your vibrational offering is emanating from you at all times. You can't not be vibrationally offering as long as you are conscious. And as you are conscious, you are focused upon something. You're either focused upon the past or the present or the future. You're observing something, you're pondering something, you're remembering something. And it's interesting, the threads of thoughts you think. This morning, as Jerry and Esther were preparing to come down, Jerry pointed to a dresser drawer in their sleeping room that won't stay closed. Apparently, the dresser's on a little bit of a slant, and there's not enough friction, and the drawer just opens itself. Esther said, it's like being on a ship, only we're not, are we? And then Jerry said it reminded him of some kids he knew who had a can of some lubricant that they were being very helpful in spraying on the drawers of people. And people liked it mostly because it stopped the drawers from squeaking, but it caused the drawers, some of them on a slant, to just slide open all the time. So people weren't that happy with this product that was being sprayed on their drawers. And then Jerry and Esther thought about those kids and thought about where they lived and thought about what they were doing and wondered what they're doing now. And then they thought about other people that they knew when they were with those kids. And then Jerry said, what was the name of that person who sang that great song? And what was his wife's name? And who were those other people? And 20 minutes later, they were still following the thread of the drawer sliding open. And this is the way your thoughts string together. You have vibrations within you, anything you give your attention to. In other words, Jerry focused upon that drawer sliding open, which made him think of something like it, and it activated within him that moment in time. And suddenly, everything about that moment in time came alive within him. And as he and Esther began talking about it, it became more alive and more alive and more alive. Now, everything about that subject was positive and good feeling. In other words, they were laughing as they remembered, and they were loving those people all over again, even though they haven't seen them or even heard of them in many, many years. But sometimes something happens that activates a thought within you, and when you follow the thread, it takes you into a not good feeling place. And without meaning to, you begin then to add to or to bring current into your now active vibration where all of your power is, something that is not beneficial to who you are. Now, what we're getting at here is that while you are here in your magnificent physical bodies and you are focused and therefore activating thoughts and therefore offering vibration, there is another part of you that is offering vibration also. It's the part of you that you were before you were born into this physical body, but it is still, even though you are here focused in this body, is still the largest part of you. It's the whole of you. It's the culmination of you. It's the source of you. It's the newly become part of you. It's the inner being of you. It's the non-physically focused part of you, but it is the largest vibrational part of you. Because before you were born, that energy was swirling. After you're born into this body, it's still swirling. But here's the important part that many of you do not remember. As you are exploring life here, knowing what you don't want, therefore asking for what you do want, every time a new conclusion of what would be an improved life experience, no matter what the topic, no matter how big or small it seems to you, every time one of those rockets of desires radiates from you, that larger part of you embraces it, absorbs it, and becomes it. In other words, vibrationally speaking, every time you know what you don't want, the larger part of you knows what you do want and becomes it, and leads you to it if you will listen. Now here's what we really want you to hear. So while Jerry and Esther are focused upon this drawer sliding open, and they follow the path of all of these thoughts, which activated vibrations within them, they could feel a relationship of this vibration that is activated now with the larger vibration of who they really are. And when the two vibrations are on the same wavelength, when they're loving these people, when they're appreciating these people, when they're remembering the fun of these people, the source within them is doing all of that too. So there's no discord within Jerry and Esther. But if they were to find something in that thought that was troubling or concerning, if they were to remember, oh yeah, that's the guy that banged our car every time he got out of the parking lot. We parked next to him, and every time he got out, he banged our car, remember? We tried to find something that we could put between us. We asked him if he could just glue carpet on the side of his car so he didn't destroy If they focus upon something that they do not feel good about, then in that moment of that activation, as they walk down this path of memory lane, there is the potential of activating a discordant vibration. And anything less than loving someone, we got to tell you, is discordant, even if they weren't lovable. Anything that's less than appreciating this person is discordant, even if they were hardly appreciable at all. In other words, when you get on these topics of truth or memory of things that you didn't appreciate then and you really don't appreciate now, you use that as your excuse to separate is too strong a word, but it makes the point of activating vibrations that don't harmonize with who you really are. And that's the reason that your guidance system works the way it does. Your guidance system is always queued up, this emotional relationship that you have between the two vibrational aspects of you. Your emotions are just that. They are giving you play by play, subject by subject, comment by comment, memory by memory, observation by observation, feedback about whether what you're thinking about is, now hear this, whether it's a step 1 or a step 3 moment that you're having. And what we mean by that is exploring contrast is always a step 1 moment. That's the moment that evokes a request from you, an asking for an improvement. In other words, when you remember someone mistreating you, even as you're remembering it, you're asking for an improvement in the way that person behaves toward you or in the way that all people behave toward you. You can't live anything without asking for improvement. The evolution of the species that is you demands it. You cannot look at what you don't want without an equal and proportionate opposite end of that stick activating in the source within you. That's why all species, even if it is a one-celled organism, expands, because it is having exposure to its experience and it is making requests for improvement also. So, we bring up this trail of thought because a trail of thought really is what your beliefs are about. A belief is only a thought you keep thinking, but we want to add a new phrase to that statement that you've been hearing us offer for a while. A belief is a vibration that you continue to activate for some reason. In other words, while Jerry and Esther have not thought about those particular people in a long time, that's still an active part of their life experience, as is most everyone's past an active part of your experience. Esther laughs as they drive in the monster bus across this nation. It is a rare road that they're on that Jerry doesn't have some memory about. Because he traveled as an entertainer, he traveled by car, he traveled all of the roads of this nation. And nearly all of the roads that he traveled, Jerry and Esther are still traveling. So he remembers that motel. He remembers what happened at that gas station. He remembers the people that lived in this town. And while most of it feels good when he reactivates it, every time you activate something from the past, you run the risk, and we don't mean to sound warning, we just can't find a better word of explaining. There is the potential of this activation because of this past experience not jiving with what's going on now. For example, when you go home for a vacation, home to your early roots, when you go back to visit your parents or the town that you grew up in or the people from your beginning, even if they're not still living where you lived, when you go back to those people, don't you find yourself beginning to behave like you did the last time you were there? Often. Because those familiar faces and places, the familiar food that they're eating, the familiar things that they think about, the familiar family albums that they get out, the familiar vibration of what that was is activated within you when you turn your attention to it. Whether you go there or not, or whether you just think about having been there. In other words, when you turn your attention homeward, so to speak, homeward to your physical family roots, you activate the vibration of that, and if you feel love and joy and friskiness when you're doing that, that means that those thoughts that are activating are blending with the most further extension of who you are, and all is really well. But if you feel irritated, if you feel ornery about it, if you feel lonely or homesick, if you get those nostalgic feelings that so often you associate with home, what that means is that thought activated something so far from who you now are that there is a discord within you. Esther said, after a while of understanding this, now I know what homesick means. Home makes you sick. And we mean that too, in the sense that when you activate those memories of when you felt less secure, or when someone didn't approve of you, or before you had figured out who you are, it's a very common thing for you to activate just by turning your attention to something that doesn't jive with who you are. But you don't have to go back home or back into your memory to do that. All day, every day, the thoughts you are focused upon, whether it is past, present, or future, whether it is a person, whether it is a place, whether it is a thing, whether it is a philosophy, whether it is an economy, whether it is a government, it doesn't matter what you've turned your attention to. It is certain that whatever it is, you're getting play-by-play feedback about whether this activated thought that you've got going on is beneficial or detrimental to you. Because your life has caused you to reach into new places. And then all day, every day, you've got this measurement going on to see how well you're reaching into the new place that life caused you to reach to. The best way of saying it is life has caused you to expand. The larger part of you, the inner being of you, has already taken that vibrational leap forward. And if you don't bring the rest of you along, then you feel the discord and you don't feel good. In short, if you are to live the joyful life that you have come forth to live, you've got to keep up with you. And we don't know any of you who can keep up with you when you're looking back. If we were standing in your physical shoes, we would spend so little time looking into the past, it would be as if we were born today. We would spend so little time thinking about anything that had happened before, because everything that happened before your frequency was where it now is. So you're just almost certain of bringing discord to yourself by activating that. Now, we know good things happened in the past, and we know that you can selectively sift through it and find those good things. But you are forward-looking beings. It's one of the reasons that you just don't stay in these physical bodies very long. You don't stay in these bodies very long because you get so enamored with the path that you have walked upon that you want to record it for all to hear. And when you do, it holds you back. It holds you back from where you're going. It keeps you from being who you really are. It's not good for you, so stop it. Or not. Whatever you want is fine. There are no rules to this game of life. There's just an incessant quest that is within you, and that is to feel good. And we're just letting you know why when you don't feel good, what's going on, and why when you do feel good, what's going on. And it is our desire, as we chew together in the hours that are before us, that